The South Today Bulletin, proudly brought to you in association with Movember, the skin cancer detection specialists.
Tonight on the South Today, a popular Dunedin cafe has a new lease of life, even though things will mostly be staying the same. Queenstown police officers are fresh-faced and clean-shaven, ready to take part in a national charitable event. And a new award in Central Otago recognises long-time service to the arts while paying tribute to a local legend. Kia ora, good evening, I'm Hannah Wilkins. A popular cafe is set to continue on its legacy in Dunedin's food scene as new owners take the helm. Greg Hay and Andy Brinsley have taken on the business together in an effort to preserve something they hold so dear to their heart.
Preparing their famous seafood dishes, Dunedin's best cafe has a new lease on life, but it's still business as usual. The nearly century-old restaurant holds a special place in Greg Hay and Andy Brinsley's hearts, who are both frequent customers in their student days. However, they made their way to the other side of the counter and are now the proud owners. They recently bought the business from outgoing owner Jessica Marks in the hope of continuing to serve the popular fresh seafood the same way they love it.
It was just a very coincidental conversation I was having with Greg over dinner. He said, "Oh, I love that business." And I said, "Well, I've doubled the figures for it, the lease, so why don't we do it together?" So here we are.
Marks had been running the cafe since 2017, continuing the legacy of a great-grandfather who started the business in 1932 and ran it for around 50 years. Hay and Brinsley are determined to preserve the restaurant's reputation, which has seen a number of happy customers walking through the doors over its 91 years of business.
It's always a really interesting cross-section of people that feel very comfortable about coming here, and it's very memorable for me.
The family ties made it tough for Marks to part ways with the business, but believes the best cafe is in safe hands with its new enthusiastic owners. In Dunedin, the South Today.
Demolition work on 4 derelict central Dunedin buildings was paused yesterday after a collapsed exterior left the structures unstable. A large portion of facade masonry on the Princes Street buildings gave way and fell into the building zone on Wednesday, putting a halt to the long-awaited project. Managers Scope Group instated an emergency closure along a section of the road as a structural assessment was completed. The section was reopened to traffic later that afternoon, with work resuming on the site the following day. The derelict buildings were marked for demolition earlier this year after being in a state of disrepair for years. Work began on the Princes Street site last week, with it expected to take around 10 weeks to complete. A group of Queenstown police officers took one for the team this week, shaving off their facial hair in preparation for this year's Movember. The annual suicide awareness event sees men from around the world grow out their moustaches during the entire month of November.
A clean shave and a fresh new look for Queenstown's Detective Constable Tim Ristrom. He's one of 3 police officers who shaved off their facial hair for Movember on Tuesday, hoping to shine a light on men's mental health and suicide awareness. Ristrom says he's been growing out his beard for almost a decade, but believes getting rid of it is all worth it to raise money for such an important cause.
It's something I've always been really passionate about, and particularly in our role in the New Zealand Police, this is something that we come across every day. And the massive impact that this has on families, on just the community around the world.
He jokingly says it took some convincing to get his wife on board, who wasn't initially thrilled with the new look. But behind the humour, Ristrom really believes in supporting the cause, with around 70% of people across the globe taking their own life being men.
Those numbers are just unbelievable. We need to try and do something to try and help that. And by me looking like a clown and acting like a clown for a month, I encourage everybody else to join in the fun as well. Along with the 3 shaving for the cause, some non-bearded members of the Queenstown Police are also showing their support by taking on a 60-kilometre run for Movember instead. In Queenstown, the South Today.
Tokyo Olympian Regan Goff held a slim 4-second overall lead over Australian Sam Jenner, heading into the 4th stage of the Tour of Southland road cycling race. Riders left Mosman on Wednesday morning on what's known as the Queen stage of the cycling tour. Light winds and cooler temperatures made for perfect riding conditions. Cyclists were often closely bunched up on the 108-kilometre ride, but with little time to appreciate the scenic views as they wound their way through the Devil's Staircase alongside Lake Whakatipu. The day ended with a lung-bursting 6-kilometre climb, zigzagging up the steep Remarkables access road. Former Southlander Elliot Crowther had the legs to cross the finish line first, just ahead of Aussie professional Kane Richards, who was able to claim the leader's orange jersey. A brand new scholarship has been awarded for the first time in Central Otago, commending long-time service to the local art scene. The Denis Litchfield Memorial Scholarship recognises the outstanding artistic efforts of those in the region, giving back to those who've contributed to the community.
Tinkling the ivories as celebrations get underway for the inaugural Denis Litchfield Memorial Scholarship. Clyde pianist Bruce Cassidy was the first recipient of the new Central Otago Award, which recognises longevity and service to the local art community. His name was put forward by the RSA Gentlemen Singers without him knowing, who he has played piano alongside for over 15 years. The choir is just one of his many contributions to the local arts in his long career, but is showing no signs of slowing down just yet.
I hear people talking about retiring. So my question would be, retiring from what? I don't feel as though I've retired from anything.
Cassidy says he's humbled by the recognition for his service to the arts, the prize coming with a monetary reward for recipients to spend on whatever they like. The inaugural scholarship was awarded by the Alexandra Community Arts Council on Monday in honour of late Central Otago artist Denis Litchfield.
He worked tirelessly in our local community. Everything he did, he gave for free. He absolutely loved the arts. He was a fabulous musician himself.
The new scholarship is set to be awarded annually, with every recipient's name becoming etched in history on a plaque that will be displayed in the Central Stories Museum. In Alexandra, the South Today.
Yakane. Still to come on the South Today. Some Southern X-men show off their skills, and craft beer lovers prepare to take over Dunedin as a near sellout 2-day event heads into its 10th year.
Hey guys, don't fork over your cash till you've seen my mate John's cracker deals. John really has blown the roof off prices. He's slashed 20 to 75% off everything store-wide. Plus you can pay it off over 18 months interest-free. Great range, fantastic service, and always a better deal. Now that really is a cracker. 20 to 75% off.
Where did you get that furniture from? Stafford Street. And my mate John.
Such a sweet girl. What are you dreaming about?
Just music.
The Power of Dreams by Honda.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
Here at Age Concern Otago, we offer a range of services to support Otago seniors to age well with dignity and independence. We provide social work support, visiting service, health promotion and social activities. Check out what we have on offer at ageconcernotago.com.
Tēnā koe, welcome back. An extreme sport in Queenstown is getting the axe, but that's the aim of the game. A Southern axemen group are showing off their timber skills, getting in some chopping practice before a big competition.
Enough flying wood to give the audience splinters as the Southland Otago axemen group show off their timber sport skills at the Hayes pub in Queenstown. The Lumberjacks staged the demonstration in an effort to raise awareness of the sport in Central Otago, with two teams competing against each other in a small tournament. Local axeman Nick Edgerton says a number of the group are preparing to compete at Christchurch's AMP show late next month, with the demo event a good chance to get in some extra practice.
Yeah, there's 3 days up there at the AMP show, so most of us will go up there, and there's a teams race against New South Wales that some of us are in as well. Chop against them like for a 3-test series.
Timber sports has 6 disciplines which can be competed individually or as team events, with the Lumberjack showing off the underhand chop, the standing block chop and the doubles buck.
Can't see it on camera, that's for the underhand, that's one you stand on top of. Sawing blocks over here, that's you can either do double or single saw on them, and this block here is the standing one where you just stand up on top of it, stand into it and chop each side like a tree.
The Southland axemen are planning to stage a similar event in the small Fiordland town of Manapodi in early November, as they continue to show off the unique sport and hopefully attract some new keen wood chopping athletes. In Queenstown, the South Today.
Thousands of beer lovers are getting ready to descend on Forsyth Bar Stadium over the next couple of days for the 10th annual Dunedin Craft Beer and Food Festival. Well-known local breweries are busy preparing their finest drop for the event, with one even giving festival goers a taste of their newest concoction.
Pouring out a cold one, the first of many ahead for a number of breweries over the next few days. Excitement is ramping up in Dunedin as the city prepares for this year's Dunedin Craft Beer and Food Festival, which kicks off at the Forsyth Bar Stadium on Friday afternoon. It's the 10th year running for the popular event, with organisers expecting a turnout of close to 12,000 people over the 2 days.
So for us it's really important to kind of showcase what we can do, what the city can do, and invite a whole lot of guests along to join us.
The event will showcase food and beverage vendors from across the country, along with performances from a number of bands, including New Zealand icon Sir Dave Dobbin. Dunedin's Emerson's Brewery will have 7 drops on tap at the festival, including their launch of Let's Get Busy, a collab with Radio Horaki's Matt Heath and Jeremy Wells.
I think the lead up to any festival is hard work, getting everything ready in time, and so it'll be great getting over there, and we're kind of one of the naming sponsors over there with Radio Hauraki, which is pretty cool.
And the 2-day festival isn't just an event for entertainment. Organisers are encouraging festival goers to donate to their partner charities, the Nest Collective, Star Jam and Fringe. In Dunedin, the South Today.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on the South Today. Dunedin's Best Cafe has welcomed 2 new owners, both with big plans to preserve the legacy of the popular restaurant. 3 Queenstown police officers are growing moustaches for men's mental health, taking part in this year's Movember. And Central Otago pianist Bruce Cassidy is the first recipient of the Denis Litchfield Memorial Scholarship for his service to the arts in Alexandra. And now we'll look at what's happening in tomorrow's ODT, and we welcome Associate Editor Mike Houlihan. Hello Mike, what can we expect in our Friday paper?
Well, we're having a good look at the new Dunedin Hospital project tomorrow on 2 fronts. First of all, there's people might notice a lot of cranes have just turned up in the skyline there recently. We're asking what those are all there for and what's about to happen.
Okay.
And secondly, we've also got news about some potential traffic changes to Central Street in particular around that side. We've also looked at the university, been to the university today. Their travel budget appears to have blown out, and we're asking questions as to why.
Okay.
Our special Inside Out section tomorrow on buildings takes a peek inside the new university hostel to Rangihiroa. And it's Friday, so our sport tabloid's in, which has got all the Cricket World Cup action that you could possibly imagine, plus a whole bunch of other stuff too.
Love it. We look forward to reading. Thank you for sharing, Mike.
Thank you.
Time now for a look at your weather.
The South Today weather, proudly brought to you by Movember, the skin cancer detection specialists.
Looking at the situation, it's mostly cloudy and showery weather lining up this weekend, with colder southwesterly airflow arriving early on Saturday. Heading to the top of the South Island, light winds and heavy showers up north tomorrow, with highs of 17 in both Nelson and Greymouth, with 15 inbound for Christchurch with late rain. Travelling to South Canterbury and North Otago, nor'easterlies and afternoon rain is heading to Ashburton tomorrow with a high of 15 degrees. Timaru's looking good with light winds, cloud and 14. In Movember, very similar condition-wise, but with a top temperature of 13 degrees. Heading westwards to the Central Lakes, another great day through here with some warmish temperatures that match the light winds and high cloud, up to 14 in Wanaka and Alexandra and 13 in Queenstown. Heading further south, well, a relatively warm day through here with some light winds, 12 degrees right across the board. Looks like there'll be showers in Gore and Balclutha, but dry in the Catlins. Across to Invercargill, some low cloud and mist lies ahead tonight with a low of 7 degrees. Tomorrow's looking fine to start, foggy to start with some light winds, then a high of 12 degrees. Saturday looks warmer, 16, some showery spots across the day. That top temperature again 16. And finally heading across to Dunedin, well, it's cloudy again tonight as it drops down to 8 degrees. Friday's looking cloudy with some patchy sunspots and a high of 12 degrees before some late showers. Then we head into the weekend and it's a similar story, well, a bit warmer actually, some light winds and southerlies and then up to 17 as the high. And that's the news this Thursday. For the latest news and videos from the southern region, head online to odt.co.nz. You can follow Channel 39 on YouTube to catch our news bulletins on demand, or follow us on Facebook. Search for the South Today NZ to see our favourite stories from around the regions. We'll see you again tomorrow. Ka kite o popo.
Public interest journalism funded through New Zealand On Air.
The South Today Bulletin, proudly brought to you in association with MoleMap, the skin cancer detection specialists.